Welcome traders. Today we're going through SMRT Algo Pro V4, our most advanced and powerful indicator yet. This is more than just a buy or sell system. It's an adaptive trading engine that we've built that adjusts to market conditions in real time. And it gives you accurate entries, better exits, and tools to manage trades from start to finish. And by the end of this guide, you'll know exactly how to set it up, customize it to your trading style. We built Pro V4 with institutional grade logic and a multi-layer AI clustering engine. Now what it does is it dynamically picks the most optimal settings for the current market. So this indicator automatically adapts when volatility changes, and it keeps entries precise instead of delayed. Every signal is run through several confirmation layers and is scored for strength before it appears on the screen itself. Now what this does is it filters out the weak and low probability trade setups, and it avoids wasting time and money on signals that don't actually meet the criteria. So you'll notice on V4 that there's actually a lot less or a lot fewer signals than V3. And when you first load it on your chart, you're going to get these buy and sell signals. You'll see the reversal bands, the take profits, as well as the table or dashboard on the bottom right. Now you can change the position on the table. I'm going to make it bigger so that you guys can see it a bit more clearly. Now the dashboard. So first off, it shows the optimal sensitivity, which is the value that Pro V4 suggests you use on this current asset and time frame. And below it, we have strength. This is the trend strength meter. It measures the bullish or bearish dominance on a 0 to 100% scale. It helps you instantly know if the trend has strength behind it or if the trend is weak before you enter a trade. Under we have volume. Now the volume sentiment compares the current volume to historical averages. It helps us confirm if a move is backed by strong participation or if it's likely to fade. So you'll want to enter when volume is high. Next up, we have volatility. Volatility tracks whether volatility is expanding or contracting. It helps you anticipate breakouts in, let's say, high volatility phases and avoid chops during low volatility, because chops occur during periods of low volume and low volatility. So if you see those, then it's best to stay out. And finally, for the table, we have trend. Now, the trend status shows either bullish or bearish depending on the trend with icons. Now, right now we are at a bullish trend, so it shows a bull here. And it just helps you align trades quickly with the dominant market bias. We also added some optional filters, which we call the enhancement suite or the enhanced systems. They all remove noise for the buy and sell signals. Let's take a quick look at the inputs. So first off, you can turn the signals on or off, and you can use different signal types. We have basic, which is fast, normal, which is balanced, and advanced, which is the most accurate. Basically means that if you use basic, it'll also adjust the signals so that you get more signals or a higher frequency of signals on the chart. As you can see, after I turned it to basic, we have pretty much double the number of signals on our screen. And if I change to normal, it will align itself closer with the advanced setting, which was our default setting. We will have fewer signals compared to basic. Now, signal sensitivity works the same as in V3. So it controls the frequency and reliability. So if I increase this to, let's say, 6, then the frequency of signals will decrease. There we go. We've pretty much halved the number of signals from what we had before. For V4, we added an extra input for the sensitivity, but we named it signal calibration. This adjusts for the volatility of the asset. So if you increase this, it's also going to decrease the number of signals, and if you decrease this value, it's also going to increase the number of signals. Now I'm going to change the signal calibration to 15 to show you before and after of what increasing the signal calibration value will do to the chart. Now this is the default settings. You can see we have signals here and one here, but after changing to a higher signal calibration. We have more signals here, more signals throughout the center here. And overall, the position of the trades of the signals has shifted slightly. So I'm going to decrease this to 5. And you'll see once again, the position of the signals have shifted slightly to the left or to the right. Now, this doesn't typically reduce the number of signals, but it'll shift the signals earlier or later, depending on your settings. You can think of this as a sort of mini delay as you wait for the indicator to confirm for the signal. Now, next, we have trading type. We have scalp or swing. So this is pretty self-explanatory. By default, it's on scalp. And if you want to swing trade, you can use the swing setting here, and you'll see that the signals will change from a buy sell to moves like this, where you can capture these huge moves to the upside and downside. So this is really good if you are a swing trader or just want to hold moves for, let's say, investment or just longer term purposes. We have label offset. What this does is basically it increases or decreases the distance between the buy sell label and the candle itself. So if I increase this value, then the buy signal would increase upwards or downwards depending on if it's a buy or sell. This was a feature which one of our lifetime members wanted us to add, and a lot of the features here on ProV4 was added due to community feedback, such as the label offset. A few of our members wanted to have this feature, and so we've added it during the beta phase. Now, something new to the ProV4 that we don't have in V3 is the candle coloring feature. By default, it's set to gradient, and what it shows is that if it's bright blue, then the market is very, very bullish, and if it's dark blue, then market is kind of choppy or sideways. Now, similarly here, we have bright red, which means that the market is very bearish. And if we have a kind of purple color, the market is sideways. If you want to switch to the default colors, which is blue for bullish and red for bearish, you can just switch to the default candle coloring option, as you can see here. And you can also use no candle coloring at all. Now for the enhanced systems, the Fibonacci number setting, it smooths out small price fluctuations. For example, if I turn this on and change this to 50, you'll see the frequency of signals decrease by a lot. There we go. You'll find that the accuracy has increased, but also the number of signals have decreased. Now this is going to be true for all of the enhanced systems. So if you increase this, it's going to be fewer signals, and if you decrease this, it's going to be more signals. But technically, if you want more signals, you typically wouldn't turn these on, because these are supposed to act as filters, filter out trades that the core filtering system might not have picked up. Now you guys can have a play around with these values. I'm just going to explain what each feature does. Now, linear regression, it shows the mean trend direction, so that's what we use as a filter. Trend ranges, we look at price consolidation and trending phases. True range, it displays the strength of market moves. Liquidity ratio detects liquidity grabs. Dynamic flow looks at trend, and moving average looks at moving average, which is pretty basic. Each of these settings have their own sensitivity, which you can control. Dashboard, you can change the location to top right, or bottom left, as well as the size. And as always, you can add these overlay features to the ProV4. We've added brand new features to ProV4 that have never been seen in ProV3, and I'm going to go over them in this video. Now, the first one is channel breaks. If I turn this on and turn off reversal cloud, which is the cloud you see here, channel breaks detects breakout or breakdown points. If I zoom in and turn off the signals, you can see that it plots channels on the chart. And when price breaks the top channel, then you might want to enter a trade here and place your stop loss somewhere here or somewhere in the middle here, or just to confirm that price is going to go up. Because once it's broken one channel, price typically tends to break multiple channels. As you can see here on the left, price broke the bearish channel, and then it continued to break bearish. Then it failed here, and then it broke bullish, bullish, bullish. Now also these zones act as dynamic support and resistance zones. This zone here, price went up, retraced back into the lower channel here and bounced back up. There was some resistance here as well. And if you check here, this was actually a resistance area. Now trend lines, we have upgraded the auto trend lines from the V3 for the V4. As you can see, it plots trend lines in your chart and as well as channel breaks. So when the trend line breaks, you can see here that price has pushed down, broken past the bearish trend line where you can potentially enter at the break. Next, we have trend ribbon. This is an upgraded version of the Power MA. For those of you who have been using Pro V3, it shows the trend in either blue or red. And it's a huge improvement to the Power MA because we've tailored it so that it doesn't adjust or change that quickly to price. For example, the Power MA might move like this, where this is bearish, this is bullish, this is bearish, this is bullish. But we've gone ahead and done a lot of filtering to it. So now you can see this entire section here counts as bullish. So when the trend ribbon is blue, you might not want to take any of the sell trades or sell signals that Pro V4 gives you because the trend ribbon tells us that it's bullish. Same here, when we're down here, you might not want to take any bullish trades. I'm going to go over the reversal cloud quickly. It's similar to the reversal bands in V3, except we've upgraded it. When price touches or goes above or below the reversal bands, it'll display these dots here. So it's a clear visual that price is pretty much overextended and we should expect price to retrace back down soon. See here, we have these dots, and then price goes up. Or you can also use these bands as take profits. So when price touches one of these bands, you might want to take partial take profits. Next up, we have market stairs. Now it works similar to the trend ribbon, but what basically shows you is that the market is making a series of higher highs and higher lows. If I zoom out, you'll see that we have these bullish market stairs. And what it means is that the market is making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and it's overall bullish. So the direction that we want to take is bullish, or the trend bias that we want to have for our trade is bullish. So what this means is that if there's a buy signal, you might want to go in a bit heavier or use a larger position size for it. And if there's a bearish signal, you might want to either not take it or go in with a lighter or smaller position. And lastly, we have trend trail. Now, trend trail is an upgraded version from the trailing stop loss feature that we had in V3. And you can see that normally, if I turn the signals back on, these act as dynamic trailing stops. For example, let's say I entered this buy trade here, I would place my stop loss here, and then as price moves up, I would place it here, 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 and ultimately we would get stopped out here. Same here for a buy signal here, you would follow the trend trail, and ultimately this would actually take us all the way up here before it takes us out. Now, once again, each of the overlays have their own sensitivity, length, and filter options. You can filter if you only want to show the trend, bullish or bearish overlays. And next up, we have market structure. So if I turn this on, you'll see the changes of characters and the breaks of structure. This is also a feature in Pro V3 and Smart Money Toolkit. To those of you who trade smart money concepts, you'll be very familiar with this feature. Now what show swing does displays pivot highs and pivot lows, and the mapping structure basically changes the lines from a solid to, let's say, a dashed. Now for the algorithmic logic, by default, it's set to adjusted points, and I just changed the extreme points, and what it does is basically it'll target more of the external structures compared to the internal structures. Internal structures is basically breaks of structures or change of characters that happens between these two areas here. Next up, we have our risk manager, basically our take profit and stop loss. You can use fixed, which is our default fixed 1-to-1, 1-to-2, and 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. Or you can use dynamic. If you use dynamic, it won't show the TP and stop loss labels. Instead, it'll tell you when take profit is hit. The take profit is different for each signal. For example, for this trade here, the take profit was here, here, and here. And for this trade here, the take profit was here and here. Using dynamic mode means that you have a different take profit for each signal. And to be honest, it's all personal preference. You can use whichever suits your trading style more. If you want to maximize the profits from each trade, then you can use dynamic. Or if you want a more rule-based fixed RR system, you can use fixed. If you don't want the areas of the take profit and stop loss to be filled, you can uncheck fill areas. And this will basically remove the coloring here. And if you remove exits, basically it will remove the previous take profit dots on your chart that have been hit. So if you don't like the look of those, you can uncheck this input here. And just like the V3, you can change the length of the take profit and stop loss by adjusting the sensitivity value here. Now if you increase this, it's going to increase the gap between the entry and the profit and stop loss. And if you decrease this value, it's going to decrease the distance between entry, TP, and stop loss. We also have a brand new alert system for V4. It sends alerts for buy, sell, TP hits, and stop loss hits, as well as channel breaks, trend shifts. By going here, you can choose buy, sell, or buy or sell. Most of you will choose buy or sell. And if you want the alert to alert for all take profits, you would select all, and stop loss 1 since there's only one stop loss. And if you're using dynamic exits, so we're not in this case, we're using fixed, so none. And in this case, we're using fixed. Now dynamic exits, we are using fixed, so I'm gonna select none. Channel breaks, I don't want alerts for channel breaks or the market stairs or trend trail, so I'm going to select none here. And for the alerts, I'm going to select automatic alerts once per bar close. And once you select OK, you just need to select the 3 dots here, add alert, and select any function call. Click create. Now for V4, we've upgraded the alerts such that you can create alerts that look like this. If I zoom in here, it will show the exact symbol, the signal, the stop loss, and the 3 take profits all in one alert. This was something that was highly requested, and we've added this to V4, as well as customizable alert messages with symbol, price, and context, which helps you act fast with all the info you need at your fingertips. Now, once you've set everything up, you can test Pro V4 on your preferred market and time frame. It works on all assets and time frames. You can use the dashboard for context, signals for entries, or enhancements for filtering, market structure for context, risk manager for trade planning, and alerts to automate your monitoring, so you don't have to always check the charts all day. Pro V4 isn't just a signal tool or regular indicator. It's an adaptive trading ecosystem designed to give you precision and confidence that you need to trade like a pro. If you guys don't have access to Pro V4 yet, head to the first link in the description below where you can get access from our website directly, and I'll see you guys next time.